because those side effects, ooh boy. Cells numb to the immune intervention, right? Because they're camouflaged and marked as safe. They're using the same stealth tactics as cancer cells in a nutrient deficient terrain that has a history of not sustaining cell life before. It's not good, right? Because you can't not address the cellular environment. That's what the cell is pulling its lifeblood from. So there's no internal recycling system within these cells. How do they sustain themselves? If any one of them needs to be replaced or sustained or corrected, are they able to upregulate HLA? Do they just have no HLA expression? There's no internal safety mechanisms. Like, what if the cleaning needs of the cell supersedes the cell's ability to self-clean, right? That doesn't mean the immune system's going to come in and just ruin everything. It's there to help. It's there to help clean. How do we coexist? How do these two things coexist, right? Like a cell that might need some help, but also doesn't get wiped out every time it needs a little bit of help. And if you have a cell that does need help and doesn't get it, what does that do? It increases its exposure to oxidative damage, which opens it up to DNA disrepair, mutations, and just the fact that the cell can't do what it needs to anymore. And Vertex, most of the hypoimmune technology that I was mentioning with the HLA and the CD47, that's specific to Sana Biotechnology and their HIP technology. But Vertex achieves the same environmental conditions just via a different method. You're still getting those beta cells. They lack the HLA downregulation and the CD47 upregulation, but you're taking immunosuppressants alongside them. So you're still silencing the immune system. And this has systemic consequences because now you're not just isolating the immunoevasion to beta cells. It's like your whole body's immune system is being targeted. And so, holy moly, what are we opening ourselves up to? And it turns out quite a lot. There's a lot of risks of prolonged immunosuppressant use, right? Increased infection risk. You've got things like Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, HPV, human papillomavirus, all viruses that increase your risk for, number 2, cancer, right? Latent infections reactivating. Lyme's disease. I had a tick bite before that was kind of my triggering event, right? So are you just opening up a whole new can of worms in a body that isn't able to protect itself anymore? And with the cancer, tumor permissive conditions, again, you're decreasing HLA expression. Things that should be getting caught in the filter are not getting caught in the filter and just continually recirculating. It's not good. Not good. Neurotoxicity and cognitive side effects, right? Headaches, seizure, confusion, mood disturbances. Again, things that need to get filtered aren't. Metabolic dysregulation, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, insulin resistance, increased fat retention. You would think we're talking about something that increases your risk for diabetes, not something being used to help prevent diabetes, right? Like, hey, here's some healthy beta cells, but you got to take it with something that's going to increase your insulin resistance. That's insane. That's insane. And the list is longer than 6. There were more, but it's just like you get the point. Bone health, muscle wasting, right? Decreased lean muscle mass. Kidney and liver toxicity. Remember we were talking about how important the cellular environment is for beta cell integrity? Increased or prolonged immunosuppressant use is making all of those pre-existing conditions in the diabetic state worse. It's like 1 step forward, 6 steps back. No sense. So You have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? The immunosuppressants can buy time, right? And a lot of times in transplants, it's like giving the transplanted cells the ability to establish themselves. And I don't know if there's some kind of like weaning off process where some of the cells can eventually achieve tolerance, you know, without permanent immunosuppressant use. Because if you use immunosuppressants too long, it comes at the cost of removing the layers of self regulation, immune defense, and metabolic equilibrium that you need to be healthy in the first place. So these are not non-trivial trade-offs. They have to be balanced when with the use, right? You don't want to take a cure in one hand in exchange, like, and have a new disease in the other hand. It doesn't make any sense.